After 8 weeks of testimony from dozens of witnesses, the trial of James Whitey Bulger is winding down. Today, prosecutors and defense attorneys presented closing arguments before a jury that will ultimately decide Bulger's fate. For more on today's proceedings, let's go to our Greg Wayland. He's live outside of the courthouse in South Boston. Greg.
Well, Latoya, each side got 3 hours to make their case. The prosecution went this morning. The defense is at it right now. In this trial of trials, this is the beginning of the end. First, as always, came the blaring, flashing motorcade bearing James Whitey Bulger to court. For his attorneys, this would be their final chance to convince a jury, if not of his complete innocence, at least of his blamelessness in key murders and conspiracies. This is the conclusion, after all, of a trial the defendant has called a sham.
The goal, I think, is to preserve Whitey's code, to preserve his myth or legend, depending on which way you want to see it, that he had a certain code, criminal code that he lived by. It included that he would not kill women, either the Deborah Hussey or Debra Davis. He, I think, clearly would like to be found not guilty on those 2 counts.
The burden is on government prosecutors to get the man formerly known as one of America's most wanted criminals convicted on a 32-count indictment. The morning belonged to Assistant U.S. Attorney Fred Wyshak, whose voice trembled now and then as he spoke of innocent victims and Bulger's alleged callousness. The rest was a plodding journey through evidence.
Detailed recounting of the specific evidence. I think it went a bit long. 3.5 hours virtually is a long time to try and keep a jury's attention.
So it's the evidence against Bulger's battle for a dubious personal honor.
I think this is a personal defense, and it's a preservation of what he sees as his legend, what others describe as a myth.
And this afternoon, defense attorney J.W. Coyne going hard on the credibility of government witnesses. John Martorano, only 12 years for some 20 murders. Stephen Fleming, life sentence instead of potential extradition to states such as Oklahoma or Florida, where some of the murders in this case were committed, where he could have faced a death penalty. So in effect, Coyne's saying they've been paid off for their testimony, and he's saying they're lying. So we'll have more at 5 o'clock. Back to you, Latoya.
And we look forward to that at 5 o'clock. Greg Wayland live for us at the Moakley Federal Courthouse. Thank you. And we'll keep you updated here on NECN on closings and jury deliberations as they get underway. We'll bring you the verdict the moment it comes in. You can also follow us on Twitter at NECN for the new developments inside the courtroom.